Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie, and in this video I will be giving my thoughts on Stephen King's novel, The Gunslinger. The Gunslinger was first released as a quintet of novellas in a magazine of fantasy and science fiction over the course of 3 years. And over the course of 3 years, each chapter of this book was released. So open my copy up. For example, Chapter 1, The Gunslinger, was first released in the magazine in October 1978. Then, the next chapter, The Way Station, was released in April 1980. The next chapter, The Oracle in the Mountain, was released in February of 1981. The Slow Mutants was released in July of 1981. And finally, The Gunslinger and the Man in Black was released in November of 1981. It was first published as a whole book by Donald M. Grant Publishing Incorporated as a limited edition in 1982. This story is just the beginning of an epic adventure. Roland Deschain of Gilead is the last of the gunslingers, and his mission and purpose in life is to get to the tower and save it from being destroyed by the Man in Black. The story takes place in an alternate universe that resembles the Old West and is similar to our own. For example, the Beatles song Hey Jude is mentioned, along with the children's rhyme Beans, Beans, a Magical Fruit. And there's this old gas pump that's described as being ancient, and it is worshipped as a god named Amico. Several times throughout the novel also, Roland mentions that the world has moved on. The gunslinger follows the Man in Black across the desert to not only kill him, but to get answers about the tower and how to get to it. As Roland is traveling across the desert, he comes across a farmer by the name of Brown who has a pet crow or raven by the name of Zoltan. Brown offers Roland shelter and food for the night, and over a campfire, Roland tells Brown about his time in a small town called Tull. So Roland's time in Tull occurred prior to the start of the novel. And just to clarify this, that Roland is telling Brown the story over the campfire, so it's a story within a story. But we learn that the Man in Black was also in Tull just prior to Roland being there, and he was able to set a trap for Roland. And the leader of the church talks to Roland and informs him that she's pregnant by the Man in Black, and that the Man in Black has turned her against Roland. And in turn, she has turned the whole town, every single person, man, woman, and child, against Roland. So, in order to survive, Roland is forced to kill every single person in the town, including his lover, Allie. After his time with Farmer Brown, Roland continues on his journey across the desert, walking to the point of exhaustion and dehydration. Roland finally arrives at the way station near death. And it is here that Roland meets a boy named Jake Chambers. Jake is from another universe different than Roland's, most likely our own. He's from a place called Manhattan. And while Jake was walking to school one day, he was pushed in front of a car and violently killed. So Jake helps Roland get better and recover by feeding him jerky and giving him water. And after Roland recovers, he has grown quite fond of Jake and feels a strong connection and fatherly love toward the boy. Jake doesn't seem to remember very much about himself or his life before arriving at the way station, and he makes it perfectly clear that time has absolutely no meaning for him. Wanting to help Jake, Roland tries to hypnotize him to remember about himself and about his life. And he sees that Jake has died a very violent and painful and terrible death at the hand of the Man in Black. And it's so terrible that before waking Jake up from his hypnotic state, Roland has him forget again. So Roland really feels a connection to Jake, and he decides that he's going to bring Jake with him on his journey. After leaving the way station, Roland and Jake encounter several trials before arriving to the mountain where the Man in Black is hiding. At this point in the book, we learn a little bit about Roland's history and of his first encounter with the Man in Black. We also learn of his time as a boy when he was first learning to become a gunslinger. And we find out that Roland is actually the youngest person to ever become a gunslinger. So that's pretty interesting. As Roland and Jake travel through the mountain and through its dark tunnels, following the Man in Black, they find an old mining cart and decide to use it to travel through the dark tunnels faster. And before long, they encounter these strange creatures known as the Slow Mutants. And these creatures are trying to kill Jake. Fortunately, though, Roland is able to use his skills as a gunslinger and he saves Jake's life. So Roland and Jake continue on with their quest. Eventually they locate the Man in Black, but at the same time, Jake hangs in peril from the edge of one of the rails of the track. And Roland is forced to make a crucial decision to save Jake from certain death or to follow the Man in Black. As Jake is hanging for dear life, he tells Roland to follow him, to follow the Man in Black, because there are other worlds like this. This isn't the only world. So he kind of gives Roland permission to follow the Man in Black. But will he, or will he save Jake? To find out, you have to read The Gunslinger by Stephen King. I'm going to end off there because I don't want to ruin the story. And it's a really good book. I actually read it twice and I kind of rushed through it the first time and didn't get really that into it. I didn't really like it that much the first time I read it, to be honest. But the second time I read it, I really enjoyed it and I really loved it. And I kind of got excited about wanting to read all the Dark Tower stories. And so this isn't going to be my first video on this, I'm sure. And I know in the future I'm going to go back to the Gunslinger time and time again because I liked it that much. But I'm really looking forward to reading the whole series, like doing maybe a series where I read all the stories in the Dark Tower in order. I really would like to do that. And I definitely recommend this book. I thought it was really good. It was really imaginative. It was full of adventure. It was funny. It was sad. It was interesting. And I just really liked it. And I think other people would like it too. So if you like Stephen King, you might be interested in this. If you like epic adventures, you would definitely be interested in reading The Gunslinger or diving into the Dark Tower series. So I guess those are my thoughts on Stephen King's The Gunslinger. Like I said, I left a lot of stuff out because I didn't want to spoil it and like ruin the whole story for anybody. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of the story to pique your interest perhaps. So that's it for me. And in my next video, I will be talking about Different Seasons, which is a short story collection by Stephen King, obviously. And in Different Seasons, the stories include Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption, which was made into a movie. I'm sure many people have seen. It's a really good movie. And I actually remember hearing a story from Stephen King about this old lady he saw in the supermarket or something. I might not be getting the whole story right, but like the gist of it is he sees this old woman in the supermarket and she kind of makes a comment about him being a horror writer and says, oh, like something, oh, you should read like Shawshank Redemption. That's a good book. Whoever wrote that, like a really good author. And he's like, I wrote it. And the old lady, didn't believe him. And it was kind of funny. But anyway, so Rita Hayworth in the Shawshank Redemption, the app pupil, the body, and the breathing method are all on different seasons. So that'll be my next video. And I hope you like this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.